What is going on, college basketball fans? Today we're looking at my top 5 most underrated college basketball transfer portal pickups this offseason. A lot of these guys are going to be big impact players, but I don't see a lot of people talking about them, so I'm going to give them some good recognition here. And before we get into it, I just want to say subscribe if you guys are new. We do a ton of college basketball content here on the channel. You don't want to miss it. And we do have a quick word from today's sponsor. And like these players, if you guys are looking for a transfer in your life, consider today's sponsor, Southern New Hampshire University. If you guys are subscribers of my channel and are watching this video, sports are probably a huge part of your guys' lives. And if you have ever considered a degree in sports management, SNHU has an awesome sports management program all online that you can do right now. Southern New Hampshire University's online sports management program lets you turn a passion for sports into a degree. You'll learn about the business and economics of sports, sports management, principles, and how to gather and analyze data. You'll be able to tap into SNHU's network of graduates working in sports-related organizations, and after you graduate, SNHU will still be there to help you in your job search and try to help you find your dream job in sports management, whether that is an athletic director, sports marketing manager, or any other exciting roles in the sports industry. If you guys are interested, make sure you guys hit that link that I have in the description, also in the pinned comment. If you guys are looking for a change in your life and are interested in sports management, SNHU is the place for you. All right, so coming in here at number 5 on our list, underrated guys, super high impact guys for next season, we do have AJ Hoggard. Now, AJ Hoggard, he did transfer to Vanderbilt, which I'm not sure if Vanderbilt is going to be a March Madness team next year, but they definitely improved with a few transfer pickups this offseason and definitely are going to be in the mix of the SEC. Probably a bubble team. They may just get into the tournament if this guy can play very good. AJ Hoggard is a guy who averaged 10 points a game last year, but he averaged 5 assists and 3 rebounds. He is a really good point guard. He's been the point guard for Michigan State the past couple of years, and not this March Madness, but last March Madness, he did help lead Michigan State to the Sweet 16, where he had massive performances, 20 points plus in both of his March Madness games that he did play in that year. And he is a really good point guard, super good playmaking. He is going to be able to drive the ball very well, and he is going to have that senior leadership and experience that Vanderbilt will definitely need. I think that this is a very underrated pickup. Going into last season, we all thought Michigan State was going to be super good because Tyson Walker and AJ Hoggard were going to return in that backcourt with some other pieces as well. So with him in the transfer portal, I thought that it would be a bigger deal. It really hasn't been, so I want to give him some recognition here at number 5. At number 4, we have a different type of player, going from a guy who is in his last year of his eligibility to a guy that still has 3 more seasons of eligibility, and that is Aaron Bradshaw. He is going into his sophomore season, and he transferred from Kentucky to the Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, Aaron Bradshaw was just last year, in the class of 2023, the number 1 overall center in that class coming out of high school. He is the number 5 overall recruit in the 2023 class, and he had a ton of potential, and he still does have a ton of potential. He just didn't play as good or get the playing time he needed on Kentucky last season, only averaging 5 points per game and 3 rebounds per game, but he is a true 7-footer. Like I said, the number 1 center of his class, 5-star recruit, and him going to Ohio State now, I think he has potential to really bloom as a star, and I think Aaron Bradshaw, super underrated pickup by the Buckeyes this offseason, and this is a Buckeyes team that was really starting to pick it up towards the end of last season. After they fired their coach, their interim coach took over. They were really on a roll there where they were competing with teams like Purdue, Wisconsin, even beating those teams. Like, Ohio State definitely has potential to take a jump this year, and I think Aaron Bradshaw, similarly to like a Khalil Ware, where Khalil Ware was a 5-star recruit, one of the best centers of that class at Oregon, didn't play good at Oregon, transferred over to Indiana, had a really good season this year, and then now is going to be a top 20 pick in this year's NBA draft class. I think Aaron Bradshaw could have that type of turnaround, if not even better. Next up, coming on here at number 3, we do have Chris Youngblood, and one of my favorite names in all of college basketball. He was a guy who started at Kennesaw State, led Kennesaw State to the March Madness tournament in 2023, transfers that offseason, goes to South Florida, and then averages 15 points per game, 2 rebounds and 2 assists at South Florida, and won the regular season conference championship in a conference that had teams like FAU, Memphis, really good teams, and South Florida was right there in it. And like I said, the regular season conference championship, and a lot of people, including myself, thought that they deserved a bid into the March Madness tournament this year. They didn't get it. They didn't win their conference tournament, but Chris Youngblood on the move again, and his next stop is to the Alabama Crimson Tide, a team that just made the Final Four this past season and is returning Mark Sears. That is going to be a hell of a backcourt right there. Mark Sears and Chris Youngblood, going to be super fun to watch. I cannot wait to watch this Bama team next year. They also got other transfer pickups like Cliff Amorie, who has been a stud at Rutgers the past so many years. So Alabama, coming off of a Final Four appearance, they're easily a top 10 team heading into next year, maybe even a top 5 team. Look out for them. And Chris Youngblood, super underrated pickup here for the Tide. Next up, coming in here at number 2, we do have Akor. Akor is a guy that I talked about quite a bit over the course of last season. He played for Samford, and I was super high on Samford as a Cinderella pick for the March Madness tournament. They did get to March Madness. A lot to do because of Akor. He averaged 16 points, 6 boards, and an assist a game last year for them, but throughout the season was just an absolute super good player for Samford, and they ran a super fast, high-paced offense, and he has extreme athletic ability. He can shoot the ball, play defense. He is really what you want to see from a small forward wing type player, and him transferring from Samford over to Kansas State, that's a big pickup for him, and I think it's a super underrated pickup. Akor, they also picked up Doug McDaniel and Coleman Hawkins this offseason. Jerome Tang really revamped this team after an Elite 8 appearance in his first season at Kansas State and then missing the tournament last year. I think Jerome Tang really has a squad this year to get back to the tournament and do some damage. They are going to be an underrated team in the Big 12, a team to look out for, and Akor, a big-time pickup, going to be a starter on that team. Very excited to see this Kansas State team play. And coming in here at number 1, we do have one that is an interesting transfer because he's transferring from one Big East team to another, and that is Kadary Richmond. Kadary Richmond, one of the top players in the Big East Conference last year for Seton Hall. He is a 6'5" guard who averaged 15 points per game, 7 rebounds as a guard, and 5 assists. Super good all-around player, and he's transferring from Seton Hall over to St. John's. This one, maybe not as underrated. I do see some people talking about this one, but I haven't been able to talk about it on my channel yet, so I really want to talk about Kadary Richmond because he is a super good all-around player. Like I said, he's now going to play for Rick Pitino, Hall of Fame coach, an NCAA champion coach. Going to be a super fun team here for St. John's this next year, and Kadary Richmond, absolute superstar that he is going to have on his team. Like I said, a 6'5" guard, going to be awesome. Going to be his final season in college. He did start his college career in Syracuse, transferred to Seton Hall, had an awesome year. Now he is there in St. John's playing for head coach Rick Pitino, and just absolute Big East star. He's going to be one of the favorites to win Big East Player of the Year this year, and now playing for St. John's, hoping to help the Johnnies get back to the tournament after narrowly missing out on it this past year. So let me know what you guys think about these 5 players. Do you guys think that they're going to have as high of an impact as I do? Let me know if you guys want to see a part 2 to this series, because there has been a ton of transfer portal moves across the course of this entire offseason, so I could definitely find more underrated pickups to do another video on. So let me know that down below in the comment section. And yeah, guys, that's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching.